Hey boys and girls, here we are, number 4. But before we take care of that, Kimmy has another joke for you.
What happens when you tell an Easter egg a funny joke?
What happens to Easter egg when it hears a funny joke?
It cracks up.
Oh, alright, well that's just a brilliant segue right into our next egg. So we crack that open, and what do we got there?
Praying hands.
Praying hands, alright. Everybody see that? 2 hands full. Okay, so what's the scripture reference for that one, Kimmy?
Luke 22:39 through 46.
Luke 22. (39 through 46). Okay, so we're on egg number 4. So Jesus rode on the donkey into Jerusalem, right? That was probably on Sunday. And then a short while later, Judas made the deal with the chief priests for 30 pieces of silver that he would betray Jesus and turn him over to them. And then number 3 was the cup, right? So that was symbolizing the Lord's Supper. So now we're up to Thursday, and now Jesus is praying in the garden. So the garden is Gethsemane. So yeah, this is after the Last Supper that he had with disciples. So coming out, he went to the Mount of Olives as he was accustomed, and his disciples also followed him. When he came to the place, he said to them, "Pray that you may not enter into temptation." And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's throw, and he knelt down and prayed, saying, "Father, if it is your will, take this cup away from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." And then an angel appeared to him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly. Then his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. When he rose up from prayer, he had come to his disciples. He found them sleeping from sorrow. Then he said to them, "Why do you sleep? Rise and pray, lest you enter into temptation." All right, so this was the next part in the story. Yeah, like I said, this is probably we're up to Thursday now. So he went to, we know that from other books, is the Garden of Gethsemane. And the Bible says that he was accustomed, so it must have been a place that he would get away to on a regular basis and pray. It must have been a good spot that he enjoyed going to commune with his Father. And so first thing he does, he's actually warns his disciples, saying, "Hey, you're about to be faced with a challenge here pretty soon. You better start praying and prepare yourselves." So then he kind of separated himself from them, and he knelt down and prayed. So yeah, Jesus was thinking about what was coming up. He prays, "Father, if it is your will, take this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." So it's not that he's necessarily having second thoughts if he really wants to go through with this. It's more the idea that if there's any other way that we can that we can somehow atone for mankind's sin, if there's any other way that God's justice for sin has to be satisfied in some way, if there's any other way for that to happen without me having to go to the cross and die on it. So that's kind of what Jesus is asking. Is there any way we can accomplish this without me having to go to the cross? But Jesus says, "Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." And then an angel appears. Verse 43, appeared to him from heaven, strengthening him. Doesn't say which exactly it was, which angel it was, or anything, but and then being in agony, he prayed more earnestly. So, yeah, remember Pastor preaching, kind of referring to this a couple weeks ago in church. So it wasn't so much of the physical torture that he was being nailed to a cross and all the other things that went along with that, but I think we were just reminded that Jesus was sinless. All right, so I think what's bothering him more than anything is he's been completely sinless, and then about a short time from now, he's going to have the full weight of sin, of all man's sin, of every person that sin that's ever committed. The full wrath of God for mankind's sin is going to be unloaded on him. So I think that's what he's in agony about more so than anything. And then yeah, Luke tells us, being the doctor, that is somehow his sweat became like great drops of blood falling to the ground. So yeah, there is some kind of physical condition where that can happen, just extreme tense, so he must have plopped the capillaries in his forehead there, and then yeah, he's just kind of sweating out blood there. So yeah, that was pretty intense, huh? I've never been so stressed or worked up about something that happened to me. So I doubt if it's happened to any of you boys and girls either. So then he prayed, and then yeah, talked with God. He got his strength from the angel. There's no other way that's going to be done. He's going to go through with it. So he got up from prayer, and he found his disciples sleeping. So this is getting late into the night now. So sleeping from sorrow, I think that just kind of means that they're just exhausted from the emotional demands and just everything that Jesus has been talking about the last few days about his death, and as Jesus was preparing them and trying to get them ready for it, even though they didn't quite fully understand what all was going on. It still kind of took its toll on them. All right, I think that wraps up egg number 4.